Hi, everybody. I miss you guys. This video is for people that are not actually in class. So, whether you're green or blue, this is for one of your assignments for in class. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Classroom. Today, we're going to be working on some writing tips and things that you should not be doing in your writing portfolio. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some notes. So, we're going to come in here to your classroom. And then, as always, we're going to go to class work. And then we're going to be working where it says items you will need all 9 weeks. So we're going to come into your notes. So you're going to go to the one that says notes for the entire year. And then you're going to click on view assignment. And then obviously my screen looks different than yours. I have everybody's here. But up here, you should have something that says your work. And so you want to click on that document for your notes for the entire school year. I'm going to come back to here and click on my notes. I also have a copy of the notes. Mine says notes for the entire year, Mrs. Musey's. This is for when you are not able to get the notes, or you're not in class, or you miss them, or whatever the situation is. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, first of all, if you haven't done this yet, I would like you to be putting in page numbers. So I'm just going to talk you through how to do that. All you have to do is you go insert page number. So I went to insert and then page number. And then you're going to click on the first choice in the upper left-hand corner of this little pull-out. So I'm going to click right here. And then it will automatically add a header for you, and it'll put in your page numbers. So you're going to just click right there, insert page numbers, and then this first one. And then it will automatically, if I click up here, this is a header. To get out of my header, I just click down here on the document. To get into the header, I just click right here. This will then put a different page number on each page. See how this one says page 2, this one says page 3, and so on. And I think that'll make it easier as we sort of talk about your notes. I can say on page 2, you should see this. So we already have page 1 done, how to write a paragraph. Page 2 was the mnemonic device for story elements. And your definition should be completed over here. Page 3, this is where we are right now. Now, if you've already had class, if you are blue and you've already had class, you have also, I'm sorry, if you're green, I lied. If you're green, if you are green and when you've already done Wednesday's assignment, you're going to have this as well, multiple choice test taking strategies. We did those on Wednesday. So obviously if you're blue though, you haven't done that yet. So don't worry about those. We're going to come up here and you're going to label this with the date. So I put September 28th, but green, you'll have a slightly different date than that, and that's fine. And then you're going to label this writing tips. And then some things that you are never, ever, ever to do. Okay. Words never to use. Not ever. No way. Please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Get rid of these. So they are some slang words. Gonna, cause, wanna, kinda. Those are not real words. Gonna means going to. Cause means because. Wanna means want to. And kind of means kind of, OF. So we're not going to ever use those. Lowercase I, we are never going to use. This also applies to the words I'm, I'd, and I've. In all cases, you should be capitalizing that I. We also don't use these next set of words, number 3 and 4, thing, stuff, good, bad, big. Those just aren't very descriptive. When you say I don't know, there were many things in the house. I don't even know what that means. Every house has many things. So we need to be more descriptive than just things, stuff, good, bad, big. Saying that somebody is good doesn't really tell us anything. Does that mean that they're a good hunter? Does that mean that they're a good fisher person? Does that mean that they're ethically or morally a good person? So you need to be more descriptive than those words. And 4 is really the same thing. These are words that we really hardly ever even need. Very, really, totally, just, some, super. Like to say that she's super, again, that doesn't give us anything. We don't know what that means. Does she have superpowers? And then obviously there's no text speak. U, IDK, IDC, any of that. The one that I see most frequently is the U. So we want to be changing that to YOU. And then I think this starts in elementary school, maybe. Please do not start a paragraph or an essay with, I want to tell you, I want to talk about. This paragraph is about, or anything even remotely related to those statements. So we're not going to say anything about how you want to discuss, how you want to explain. I want to explain to you about. No, 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 no. Just get rid of that. Just get rid of that. You rarely, well, never. I'm sorry. No, it's not rarely. Never do you need it. Ever, ever, ever. And then some items I want you to start double checking. We shouldn't, I don't think anybody ever tells you this until you get to 10th grade. You should be spelling out numbers 0 to 9. So we don't say something like 2 years. We don't write it this way. Okay? 2 years will be written this way. However, if you wanted to say 10 years, then it would be written this way with the actual number. And capitalization continues to be a problem. You are not capitalizing all your proper nouns. Proper nouns are names, cities, states, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then also, some of you are still struggling with spacing around your punctuation. So we need to also work on that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make my screen, I'm going to split my screen. And if you are on a regular Chromebook, I'm on a MacBook right now. If you're on a regular Chromebook, for you to do this, you have to come up here to these, I don't have them, but you have to come up here to these 2 little squares that are right here. And you have to click on those, and then it'll make this box smaller. So, but for me, I just do it this way. Again, that's just one of the differences between a Mac and a Dell or an Acer. And then I'm going to pull out my notes. I'm going to pull out Classroom. Okay. And then we're going to go into your writing portfolio. Now, for you, your writing portfolio should be right here. Again, I'm under items you will need all 9 weeks. And if you aren't caught up with the notes at this point, just pause me. That's fine. I don't mind being paused. You can pause me anytime you want. Be nice, I'm sure, if you could do that in class too, right? So you're going to go here, writing portfolio, and you're going to click on view assignment. Okay, and then once again, you're going to go into the one that is yours. It's going to be up here in the upper right-hand corner. It's going to say your work. So you're going to go into that writing portfolio. Now, what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go into my writing portfolio. So Mrs. Musey's writing portfolio, and you guys know that I've been a little bit behind on that. But this writing portfolio is mine. And really, also, I use it so that you guys can see somebody else's writing portfolio. And I'm going to move myself. Look how easy it is to move me. I'm going to move myself up to the top. So we are on writing portfolio number 7 right now. So you should have 1, 2, 3, and these are all labeled in Classroom, or you can also look here to see what they are. Both Mrs. Brighthop and myself both have the title of them and the date where you can find them in blue. So that should help you. All of your writing portfolios should go here. And then, as you can see, I'm behind. So I've been working to catch up, and I'm almost done. Realize that you do have until October 23rd. Right now, I am 1 portfolio behind. So I will get that done this coming week. But I don't have the poem Nothing Gold Can Ever Stay. And that's okay. Again, I have until October 23rd to get completely caught up and to have my portfolio graded. However, what you don't want to do is wait till October 22nd. There's no way to get all this done in, one night. So I'm going to start going through this, and I'm going to check it against this list. So let's see what I've got. And I'm not going to go all the way through the paragraph, but we'll go through a good portion of it. The first thing that I want you to hear, and I really want you to tune into this, is you have never, I'm guessing, been taught how to truly edit a document. What you're used to is, I'm guessing, and again, this maybe is not the case for all of you. You're used to doing this: type, 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 turn in. Type, 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 turn in. You're not really used to stopping and truly editing. And maybe some of you are doing this: type, 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 read it over. It says what I want it to say, hit turn it in. Okay, that's not enough. That's not really editing. All right. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at every single sentence individually. Editing takes a long time. And remember, one of our goals is to teach you how to read and write at an adult level. This is not an easy task. And that's why we're only doing a few things with this one. And then we'll do a few more with the next assignment. So we'll keep adding on to these writing tips. So what you're going to do, though, is you are going to select one of these. I don't care which one. You're going to select any one you want. You could select the shortest one. You could select the longest one. Select the one that most interested you. It doesn't matter. And you are going to copy it. And I'm going to do my most recent one on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to copy it. So copy is Control C. And then I'm going to give myself a couple of enters. And then I'm going to Control V for paste. And then I'm going to change this date. And this is writing portfolio now number 7. When I wrote about her the first time, she was writing portfolio number 6. And this time, this is an edited. We're going to call this the edited version. Okay. So this was our first version. And by the way, if your version looks like this, see all these red marks? If you don't have a lot of red marks, you probably have to come up here to Tools and turn on your spelling and grammar check. So you want to make sure that that's always on. You want to see these red marks and see those notifications. Okay, so I'm going to highlight one sentence at a time. Okay. I want to tell you some good stuff about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Okay. Right away, I know I'm not supposed to say I want to tell you. So that has to go away completely. Wanna, we're not supposed to use. Some we're not supposed to use. Stuff we're not supposed to use. So I need to come up with almost an entirely different first sentence. So I want to tell you some good stuff. I can't use any of that. I'm going to get rid of all of it. And I'm going to say Ruth Bader Ginsburg was an interesting, and she was also a very influential woman. Okay. Now, here's another issue I have. After a period, there should be a space. If you do not have a space after your periods, you need to go through and literally do that all the way throughout your entire document. And then I've got this sentence. She was a really good person. Okay. So I'm not supposed to use really. Good just isn't enough. It doesn't really describe her. Again, does that mean she was morally good? Does that mean she was a good dresser? Does that mean she was a good cook? It just doesn't describe anything. So to be honest with you, I'm just going to completely get rid of this sentence. There's not a whole lot I can do with that. I'm going to just delete that. And then I need to, again, make sure that after my period, I have a space. She was born in 1933. Okay, now, here's something else that I'm seeing constantly in your writing, and that is before a comma, you put a space. If you are doing that, that is incorrect. You need to get rid of that space, and the space goes after the comma. Okay? Punctuation, whether it's a comma, a semicolon, a period, is always followed by a space. The space never comes before. And she died in 2020. And then here I see there's no space. So again, I'm going to click right there and just add that space. She was really into gender equality. Okay, I'm not supposed to be using the word really. And I'll be honest with you, this is not on my list, but into gender equality, that sounds awkward. She was, let's make it sound a little bit more formal. She was a supporter of gender equality. And again, I don't have a space, so I'm going to put a space after that period. In 1980, Democratic U.S. president. I just realized that I left something out over here. If you can go back to your notes, and you're just going to need to pause me, go back to your notes and add this items to double check. I'm so sorry. There should be no abbreviations. No abbreviations whatsoever. So pause, come back to me in a minute. Go add that to your notes, please. Okay, so hopefully you did that, and now you're back with me. Hi again. Okay, so we should have no abbreviation. So U.S. President, and because it's his title, it should be capitalized. It's a proper noun. Jimmy Carter, hopefully you see what's wrong with Carter. That needs to be capitalized. Appointed Ginsburg to the U.S. Obviously, U.S. should be capitalized. That stands for United States. And Court of Appeals is also a proper noun. You don't, however, capitalize those two-letter words like of, in, at. Appeals, and obviously Washington should be capitalized. And then there should not be a space before the comma. And then after DC, there should be a space because that's a period. Okay. I am not going to continue to go through this. I think that I've provided you with enough examples. I do believe that it helps to have both the notes next to what you're editing. And you want to make sure that you get rid of everything on here that is like the no-nos, okay? And then something else I just saw on mine is this one is not indented. So all of our paragraphs obviously should always be indented. And I'm just going to check all of mine. I didn't indent this one either. Looks like the rest of them I've indented. So you only need to go through and do these corrections on one of your paragraphs. You do not need to make the other paragraphs perfect. But I do expect when I'm grading this one that says edited version, I do expect to see it be perfect in relationship to these notes that we've taken. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, email myself or Ms. Brighthop. And we look forward to seeing you in class on our virtual days or whenever our next time is with you. Okay, love you guys. See you later. Bye.